I'm going to give you one more chance to let me get this out without you interrupting me.
I don't need any chances from you. Do you like the American Heritage Dictionary? A lot of people use that. I keep one on my shelf.
I read the definition of war, Lord.
For dinglings like you. And now I will read you the American Heritage Dictionary.
I guess it's a just war in Gaza. I guess
run away.
Here. I'm not running away. I just don't like being interrupted. If I don't treat you a certain way, I'm a golden rule type of guy.
Yes.
And so I let you talk, and I'm asking for the same respect. If you don't have that ability, that's why I don't talk to you often.
You don't need to. I'm not sitting around waiting for you to talk to me.
You were. You begged for this interaction, and now we're here. You literally begged. I said, hey, Norm, I don't want to talk to you because you're not going to be fair in the conversation.
War.
So I'm asking for you to do that.
Hang on. War.
I'm not going to. We're just going to keep talking and ruin the room now. Because I really did try, Norm. I really did try.
Please don't whine.
No, I'm not whining. This is not a whine.
A state or period of armed conflict between nations, states, or parties.
Okay, so now can I talk without you interrupting? So now can I talk without you interrupting, or are you just gonna
So let's hear. So
stay hydrated with the
pick up any dictionary and read me a definition from any dictionary.
I already did that.
No, you didn't.
I did actually. You were too busy yapping.
No, I wasn't. I'm listening closely. What dictionary? I asked you what dictionary. You wouldn't answer. What dictionary?
I don't know what dictionary.
You don't know a dictionary?
You have a dictionary open right now?
Yes, I just opened the American Heritage Dictionary, opened it and read you the definition of war.
And I accepted that definition, by the way.
Okay, so is Hamas a party?
I think Hamas is a group.
Okay, so then it's war. Next question.
So then the question remains, if you are fighting any group, is it warfare and all acts within that conflict justified by the nature of it being warfare?
Never said any of that.
Well, then that's what we're actually disagreeing on, Norm.
I beg your pardon.
I said it was a genocide. You said it wasn't. It's war.
No, well, that's a separate question.
I wouldn't call it a genocide, and I wouldn't call it, from that perspective, anything to do with a genocide. I
thought that was Emperor for a second. I thought that was Philip. My bad, Phil. Like, Phil, you wouldn't call that.
Okay, so now we understand that Israel is at war with Hamas, which was kind of obvious, so it's a little silly to protest.
No, I don't think we understand that. We do understand that you're...
We don't understand it?
No.
Okay, which part of the definition of war was not met? Or would you like
because I don't think the stated... I think if you use the stated... if you use statements that come from people that are prosecuting the war, you can easily argue that the intent is not to have a war with Hamas, but instead to exile, cleanse, and eradicate that region of Palestine.
And yet nobody has done that, weirdly.
There's already estimates from Harvard. They say 377,000 citizens have been killed. I don't know if that number
I don't know where would Harvard get that information?
They use some technology to be able to mark footprints in the region through GPS mapping. Okay. So the estimate is around 377.
Okay, so it sounds like they made it up, and it sounds like you're making it up.
So the question from you is, what amount of citizens could die for you to be like, oh, it was a genocide? Like, how much would it be okay for you to be like, okay, that was a genocide? How many citizens could die in Gaza? And you go, okay, maybe that was a genocide.
How many of them were combatants?
The 377 was civilians.
Well, there's
only 20,000. There's only 20,000 Hamas agents in Gaza. So
how do you know that? Wait, where'd you get that number from?
Israel.
Really? Where?
Yeah.
From Haaretz?
Yep.
Where'd they get their number from?
I don't know. You have to look at the article.
I don't know.
30 to 50.
I don't know.
Generally, how many guys?
I don't know what war means. I don't know what genocide means. I don't know where the West Bank is, but I got opinions.
I know where the West Bank is. Norm, how many guys?
But you didn't know. You didn't know who was in charge of the West Bank when they invaded Israel.
We already went over that. There was no disagreement over who runs portions of the West Bank, Israel, and who runs Palestine.
Well, you said it was occupied, but you thought it was a country.
The West Bank is occupied. The West Bank is occupied by Israel.
Which part?
The part that is currently occupied by Israel. The B part.
Which part is that?
Section B of the part known as the West Bank is occupied by Israel.
Sir, it's known as Judea and Samaria. It was named the West Bank by...
You just said it was from the West Bank and now you're
saying it was named the West Bank by Jordan. And as I told you before, it is covered by a treaty known as the Oslo Accord, signed by both parties. How can that be an occupation?
Well, when you have a military presence
that violated the Oslo Accord.
Yes, and so have the Palestinians.
No.
And so both parties are in violation.
Israel initially and